Hi everyone, it's Jeff from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to our channel. Today I'll be sharing a display gift using Designer Series paper or DSP for the Global Stampin' Video Haul. So the theme is DSP or pattern paper, and I decided to create something other than a card. So this display gift folds flat for posting and it looks amazing displayed on a shelf or on the mantelpiece. I'll be using the Forever Greenery Suite. So that's with the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper, which has some gorgeous images on the paper there. And I'll actually be using this one. The coordinating Forever Fern stamp set and the Forever Flourishing dies. So these two comes as a bundle currently, saving you 10%. I'll also be using the rectangle stitch dies to create the window sheets or acetate, as well as the Forever Greenery trim combo pack. So it's got the gold thread and the ribbon in there as well. So let's get started. So you'll need the paper trimmer as well. And I'm going to be using this design. So what's great about this paper is it actually coordinates with the dies as well. So if you don't want to do some coloring, you can just use the dies to cut those. Another design matches was this one. So that one coordinates with these small ones. So there's one there and there's another one here, like so, if you can see. And you have the big one as well, which coordinates with this paper, like so. So you can save time without having to color. So I will be stamping and coloring my design today, but I just wanted to show you. So for the paper, you will need 3" by 12", or just cut it slightly, trim it slightly and make it 11/7/8 of an inch, or that's 7.5 centimeters by 30 centimeters. So I've cut it to 3". I am just gonna cut it down to 11/7/8. It'll just make the construction a little bit better when you're taking off a sliver at the end. Okay, so I will be working in inches just because the designer series paper is 12 by 12, but I'll let you know how to do it in metric as well. So decide which one is going to be your front and back. So your front will be this one, and because you're going to have your starting point at the bottom, so you need to make sure that when you have it, when you're scoring, the orientation of your design series paper matches your final piece. So it's gonna be like that. So I do want the back of this one for the backing, so that'll be the inside and this one be at the outside. So I'm gonna turn it around and then start scoring at 4 3/8 of an inch, 8 3/4, 9 3/4, 10 1/8, 10 1/2, and then 11.5. So in metric, that's 11 centimeters, 22 centimeters, 24.5, 25.5, 26.5, and 29. So you will have something like this, and when you fold it, so that one will be the front. Find the next fold, and then when you create a window, you'll be able to see the correct orientation of your designer series paper. Okay. And we're just gonna burnish the folds. So I'm folding it the way that the gift will be displayed. So that way, and then another fold that way, and then the next one, you can see better, that will be the other way, and then again going back in for the next one, and then last one the other way. Okay, so you'll have something like that. Okay, so we'll crack on with some stamping. So I've got thick whisper white, and I'm gonna use this lovely stamp. So we had a class the other week with Forever Fern, and I suggested that it looks like a chicken or a flamingo with the way that the stamp and the die actually. I'll quickly show you. And one of the ladies in class actually created one. So she stamped it and then just added the beaks and the feet. It looks quite fun. So you can make your pink flamingos or green flamingos if you want. But we're gonna stamp this in Memento. There we go. And for keeping it simple and carrying on with, I'm just gonna use the hello for the sentiment. There we are. And to color the stamped image, I'm actually gonna use the watercolor pencil assortment 2 because it's got some nice shades of green in there. So it's got granny apple green, garden green as well on there. So I'm just gonna quickly color that. So what's great about this image is it's already got the shading on it, so you don't need to do as much coloring. You can just use your coloring pencil as is. You can even just do one shade everywhere. Or if you want more depth, you can then add your shaded spruce closer to where your shadows are. So then you get the nice depth in there. So I'm just gonna color this and start fast forwarding the video. If you are enjoying yourself, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel for more card making and papercraft videos for the future. The Stampin' Up products that I'm using today can be purchased from our online shop, so the link can be found below. Do use the current host code from our website so you can get an extra thank you from us next month. And also, if you do purchase more than £45, you also get a free tutorial bundle designed by the Stamping Glam Squad. So there we go. So quick and easy coloring with the watercolor pencil. And that can just be die cut with the coordinating dies. I'm also going to use the stitch rectangle dies to cut my designer series paper. So I've used the third from the smallest, and that is going to be the front, and that's just going to get aligned centrally on there. I'll also show you how to do it without the rectangle stitch, but I just eyeball it, but if you want to be really precise, you can check the measurements on those. So I'm just going to die cut that as well. So I'm aligning it so there's a nice border around on top, and you can normally feel where the score mark is there. I've done it on a slight angle, so when it goes through the roller on the cutting machine, it will go in gently. There we go. And you will have a lovely stitching at the end. So keep this piece and you can have that for another card. I'm also going to use the smallest rectangle stitch dies for the sentiment. And I'm going to cut that through twice. So I'm going to align it neatly, run it through, and then shorten it. There we go. And what you could then do is take it out and then run it through again. You can normally find the stitching to put the die back in so it doesn't move, he says. So that I know that's okay. And then I didn't run it through all the way in, so I just done it for the edge, so you have a nice stitching. So that's all the die cutting done with the Forever Flourishing dies, and the stitch is slightly wonky, but oh well, that is fine. So I will quickly show you how to do the window with your paper trimmer. So I've got it in inches in here. So I didn't have the full length, but this will be the front panel that you'll need to cut. So basically I just aligned it first with the edge at 4 inch, align it at there, and then it's 3/8. So if you place your blade at 3/8 of an inch, take that down and then go all the way down up to 2/5/8 of an inch. So basically you'll have 3/8 of an inch border. So 2/5/8 of an inch, and do not cut. Okay, turn it round, align that at 3/8 of an inch. Again, place your blade on the 3/8 of an inch mark on your ruler, cut that down all the way down to your previously cut line. Again, turn it round 3/8 of an inch, cut from 3/8 all the way down to that one. And then for the last one, you'll then want to use the bottom edge of your trimmer. So I'm using the same 3/8 of an inch. So this one, I can see that I can just line that up. Oh, I moved it. There we go. And then I can just score down to create that window. So it's very flimsy. Obviously do that after you've folded that score line. So for the metric, it's the same. So instead of 3/8 of an inch, you'll be doing it at, so align that at 10 centimeters. So you'll have 1 centimeter border around. So you'll need to, if you don't have the metric ruler, so that is available on the shop as well, you can use the 3/8 of an inch rule, or mark it before you put it down. So but the 3/8 is normally a centimeter, and then all the way down that way. And once you've had that initial score line, when you turn it and align it at 1 centimeter, you can just go back into the 3/8 of an inch and then score down, so like the metric. But you can see from the ruler, 3/8 of an inch is quite close to 1 centimeters. So the 3/8 of an inch is the 1, 2, 3, and it's 6 tick mark. That's like all of the tick marks in the imperial. Okay, so that's how you can get your window. We'll be adding the acetate on, and you will have that at the back. So the acetate I have, or window sheets, shall I say, 2 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/8 of an inch. So it will cover most of the designer series paper, just to keep it sturdy as well. And for the backing, I'll actually need, I'm going to use thick whisper white, and I'll need 4" by 2/5/8. Is that enough? Yeah. So 2/5/8 of an inch. So thick whisper white, 2/5/8 of an inch by 4 inches, or 6.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So this whisper white is just slightly smaller than the acetate sheets. So then at the back, you can have that to write your message as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna use Tombow, and I'm gonna add glue on the actual paper. Along the edges of the window, and then on the window sheet. So clean your window sheet first, and then I'm gonna add glue just along the edges for more security. And that just gets added on. Down here. So I know that in the inside it will be stuck down, as well as on the outer edge. So now we have our window, and it's much more sturdier. We're gonna add the back as well, so you can pre-stamp your message if you want, or you can just write it down after. So I'm gonna, if I fold that down, I can see where the border is. And this one is slightly smaller, so you can see a bit more of the paper pattern on the border, but still big enough so it will keep the card sturdy. So the next one is just basically constructing the display gift. So I've added glue on there, and then folding that in half. So then that will be your inside stand for another piece of window sheet. So this one is 2 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/8, or that is 7 centimeters by 3.5. So you can have it taller if you want to. And I'm just gonna add that at the back. So on like this. So it'll be at the back of this so you can't see it. So I've added glue more towards the top. And then I'm gonna add glue along the bottom of this one. Place that down. And then wait for it to dry a little bit. There we go. And that will be done. So before we continue, I'm just gonna create the ribbon and get the glue to dry. So we'll do it as 4" to 8" and just loop it around. So fold that in half, create a loop, and then feed that through. There we go. And once it's fed through, you can then create your knot just to keep it secure. So pull it tight and then do another. There we go. And then you can just take that down, cut the other end piece into a point. And then you'll have your ribbon piece. I'm just gonna cut that slightly as well. There we go. And this gold thread actually frays quite nicely, so you can have more threads hanging out, and then you can cut it down to size. So now we're gonna add the inside piece. So from the original, I did color it with the ivory Stampin' Blends marker, so it blends a bit more with the background. So this one actually, this one does blend on there, which I quite like, and the green on here, it's much more brighter than the pattern. So I'm gonna keep it as is, but you do have the option to color the background as well, and the best way to do that is the blends marker. So whatever color your background is, you can try and match it with the Stampin' Blends markers. So I'm just gonna close it up and then see where you would like your piece. So I'm gonna have it like that, so slightly at an angle. So just add glue to where your piece is gonna get stuck onto the acetate. And then if you wanna just go back down, you can see where the sides are. So I'm gonna have it like so. And then whilst the glue is still wet, you can realign it again and then see if that's where you would like it, or bring it up slightly if you would like. And you do have the sentiment to then place and keep that even stronger. So you can have that on here just for extra support. So once that's done, you can double check that that goes in. So you can, when you're folding it up, if you want to keep it small to post, just be aware of that score line on top. But you could also fold it when you're sending it, fold it down that way. It does give obviously that extra inch or 2.5 centimeters, but it does fold it down. So we are now just basically gonna close that up by adding glue onto the piece or onto that tab. And then if you fold it how you would like to, it's easier to fold it this way on the table and then fold it down. So you could always just align it so you know it folds nicely, or if you want to then push it in and then use your bone folder to then just reinforce those core lines and make sure that they're nice and tight. And then when it goes in, it is there. And to finish up, we are just gonna add that with glue dot. So mini glue dot, place it on there, and then take that off, and we're just gonna put it on there. And then cut this off. And then fray it so you can unwind it a little bit more to have those tassels and just spread it out. I hope you enjoyed this display gift idea using the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. Check out the description below for the product list from our online shop, as well as the next video link for more card making and papercraft inspiration using Designer Series paper with the Global Stampin' Video Hub. Thanks again for joining me. Until next time, bye!